Hi there, everyone. Ken Watling and Josh Birch here at the WNCT studios, and we want to give you a little sneak peek of a special report we have coming up Thursday night at 6 on WNCT 9 on your side. And Josh, you're the reporter for this piece, but it's also a topic that unfortunately you know a lot about, and that's skin cancer.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with skin cancer along my eyelid. A lot of people have noticed something red, and some people have made some comments, some people haven't, but a lot of people have asked me about it. And that was back in 2012, December 2012, and I had the surgeries beginning in 2013. And really ever since my teenage years and going through, acne and stuff like that, the dermatologist visits, I would go every year, and, I would expect, you're good, see you next year, things like that. And that was the first time, obviously, that wasn't the case. And went through those surgeries, and now it's been, 4 years has passed, and each year I've gone back, sometimes twice a year, just to get the normal screenings, because I'm the billboard for skin cancer: fair skin, blue eyes, red hair, you name it, I have it. And every year it's come back clean ever since I got that first diagnosis, and this past summer was the first time where they noticed some things on my face that hadn't developed into cancer, but they said that they had a pretty good chance of it. So it's kind of the importance of getting screening certainly is out there for anybody, regardless of the age, but a lot of young people, you hear about the tanning beds, and you hear about all these tanning specials of, get bronze for spring break and things like that, and this image of beauty and this feeling of invincibility, which I think a lot of kids have, especially the college-age kids, and they're not going to the dermatologist. They're not thinking about skin cancer. They don't think about cancer anyway. You don't think that you're going to have to deal with cancer until you deal with cancer.
You mentioned cancer, especially with the younger generation. There's some statistics in this report you'll see Thursday at 6 that are pretty alarming. And when you see those numbers and think just how many people are affected, it can be scary. I
mean, you're talking about skin cancer. There's more diagnoses of skin cancer than most other cancers combined. I mean, that is how prevalent it is. When I was talking to a dermatologist in this story, he had diagnosed 10 skin cancers that day. That day, and that was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you take a doctor's office, opens up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 that day. Now, most of them are basal, most of them are squamous. Those are the two, I guess, the moderate skin cancers, if you will. Melanoma is where you're worrying about it digging down, spreading to lymph nodes, and then kind of doing its thing in your body. And that's what the concern is. But you're right. I mean, basal and squamous cells are so common that they don't even track them. There's no way that you can track that much data in terms of a national database. The melanoma rates have increased in some cases several 100% just over the last couple of decades for certain age groups.
During the special report, we'll actually see you go through a procedure that happened not too long ago. So this is still an ongoing thing in your life, yet you're getting the word out there to try to educate more people across Eastern North Carolina. Why do you personally want to try to get the word out to make sure people take the necessary precautions?
I mean, my thing was that, I lifeguarded, and I was out in the sun, I grew up by the beach. I mean, being outdoors was part of my life. And the thing on my eyelid that eventually was diagnosed as cancer had been there probably since I was 15 or 16. I wasn't diagnosed until I was 22, 23. So you're talking about 6 or 7 years. Had that been melanoma, I'd be dead. I mean, simple as that. I mean, I had a basal cell on my eyelid. Had that not been basal and had it been melanoma, I wouldn't be having this conversation. I would have never been on TV. And that was me, who was OCD about sunscreen. I worry about everything. I ask 10 million questions. That's why I do what I do. And, that slipped past everybody. And it slipped past my dermatologist for years and years. The person that diagnosed me was actually an eye doctor. Wow. That they did the biopsy, and then I was sent to Hopkins. So, I mean, that is why things are so important to go get checked out, whether you think you've got something or not. Because I went that day when I was diagnosed to get some type of cream because I thought I had a sty on my eye. Right. And I was getting into TV. I didn't want a sty on my eye. 2 weeks later, I'm at Hopkins. A month later, I'm in the OR getting my eyelid cut out.
Josh's piece is really informative, and it's really eye-opening. We hope you can tune in Thursday night at 6 right here on 9 on Your Side.